So, today's main theme of today's episode is sports and education. Now, most of the people or parents or students talk about sports or education. Now, this is the question that arises in every person's mind when they reach 10th standard or 12th standard. हर एक पेरेंट्स के माइंड में एज वेल एज किड्स माइंड लाइक व्हाट डू आई डू नेक्स्ट. And sir, I have seen in front of me there have been like hundreds of players, let them be from badminton or cricket, amazing talent. So they have won states, they have won nationals, they are like top 16 in India, and they chose education just because they thought that okay, now the sports career is end. And being an athlete, I don't think that your sports career ends at the age of 16 or 18. That's the beginning of your professional career. Yeah. So like when I was back in 10th or 12th, so I didn't have a direction to choose, like should I go for sports or should I choose education. So what happened was when I was in 10th, I got an amazing opportunity to play in one of the topmost academies of India. It was PPBA, that's Prakash Padukone's badminton academy in Bangalore. And they had told me like, you come here and we'll take care of you and we'll prepare you for 2020 Olympics. This was back in 2012. So it was like 8 years duration that will train you. But they had one restriction. They were like, this is only possible if you choose anything apart from science. Because if you choose science, it's not going to be possible for you to focus on sports. Do anything, but don't do science. But unfortunately, I come from a family which is completely science based. And they were like, नहीं science करना है, उसके बाद में देख लेंगे क्या होता है. So today, sir, I believe most of the parents or students are also going through a similar situation where they don't know how long the sports journey can last, but they also don't know in which education career they are supposed to choose. This is a confusion in parents as well as in athletes' mind. So, you know, sir, you have helped me after my engineering. Like that was very late. Like people are supposed to do it after 10th or 12th. Yeah. But nonetheless, sir, you showed me the direction after engineering. Like this is where you are talented. This is where, you know, you gave me a direction. So, sir, I would like you to give direction to our listeners today who are in 10th, who are in 12th. And I personally believe that sports and education can happen simultaneously. It is not easy, it is difficult, but it's not impossible. It can be done. So, sir, if you have to guide a student who just completed their 10th or they just completed their 12th, if you have to tell them about what exactly is career counseling or why is it important?
Now, to be frank, that 80% of my clients are like you who have come after engineering, which is very unfortunate state, correct? And it's good that you are making a platform where 10 standard students and 12 standard students will watch this. I actually want the parents of 10th and 12th to watch this because 10th and 12th students are not that ambitious because they just go with the flow with the friends, okay, with siblings. They listen to everyone or they get motivated to one thing and they choose a career. Now, regarding career choice, I would like to tell a story. Is that okay?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
A story which I always say this. This story is uh, uh, between an elephant and a monkey. They were very good friends. One day in jungle, they decided that let us have a race. The race was to climb a tree. So monkey says that this will be the starting point, and from there, 100 meters we have to run, and someone who climbs the tree fastest will be the winner. Everybody in the jungle came to know that next morning these two are going to run a race. So this, being a fun race, was converted into a competition because it was spread to all and everyone were witnessing it. Now both wanted to enjoy. Now it became a competition instead of being it an enjoy, a fun game. As there were audience, these two wanted to give their best. The race began. In matter of second, monkey won because it was about running and climbing the tree. The elephant was just running. It saw that monkey had already finished. Elephant reached the tree. It tried hard to get up to the first branch. Maybe for 1 hour it was just trying that. It was falling, it was making loud noise, everyone were laughing at it. And because everyone were laughing at it, it tried harder. And somehow by evening, it went on the first branch and it just sat quiet and everyone applauded it and they left. Now, some might feel that no, elephant never gave up and somehow it finished. But elephant there is sitting on the branch and feeling like an idiot because it is comparing himself to monkey, where monkey finished in matter of second and I took so much time. We do that, right? I'm 21-year-old and still doing graduation, and 21-year-old my friend is earning 1 lakh rupees. Now this fellow is comparing and thinking I'm such an idiot, I'm a useless fellow. But if the same race what was to uproot a tree, elephant would win and monkey would lose. So it is very important for us to understand who we are before we jumping into any career options. Because you know what, if you consider an average lifespan of human is 60 years, 40 years minimum a person is in one career. So that means almost more than 75% of a life is career. And if at all we are in wrong career, the entire lifespan will feel like an elephant there. Comparing with others, we see everyone around, right? We see that everyone is comparing, everyone is feeling low. In fact, I have a lot of facts as I keep doing a lot of talks on career counseling. It is said that in a day in India, there are 28 kids who commits suicide and dies. 28 kids in a day. So that means till we finish this talk, one kid will kill themselves. So that is, that is so serious issue that parents are not involved in understanding the kid, understanding what is the career situation now. Because it is responsibility of the parent also, because this generation parents all are educated, so they cannot just send to school and send to college and leave the school and college to take the responsibility of career of a kid. It will not happen. It is our duty to understand what is going on outside, what is our kid made for. Okay, because if you consider another survey, it is said that at the age of 17 to 21 in India, we know only 7 careers. In fact, there are more than 3,000 career options in our career counseling psychometric test. We end up giving 3,000 options there. So if you go deep, go narrow, we need to understand what we are made for, why we are born, and when we do this, we'll surely lead a happy life. Now, your question was about, when a question comes, should I choose sport and should I choose education? Now, if you remember back in 90s and 2000s, we had famous cricketers like Anil Kumble and Javagal Srinath. Both were international players and both were engineers. Yeah. So I cannot say that at the age of 16 we just decide that I'll do only sports. Okay, because see, I cannot judge a person based on my senses, because my sense and your sense are also imperfect. That's the reason we need some device. Like if you know, if we have fever, we use thermometer, right, to understand how much exact fever we have. So for that reason, we use a tool which is artificial intelligence-based psychometric test. With that, we understand what is his or her avoid, optional, good, and top choice. So if sports is in good or top choice, then we recommend him or her based on his present interest towards education also. There are kids who are good in understanding things, who are good in memorizing, who are good in analytics, and who are good in sports also. So there are kids who can become engineers also and sportsmen also. Engineering doesn't mean you have to be, towards IIT only. IIT, JEE kind of entrance test. You need not take that much pressure. You can take it easy. You can plan your day. You can plan your hours. You can do both. Because if you see in every college, in every engineering college, there is sports. You can continue your sports there also. you also represented engineering college of yours, right?
Yes, sir.
So you have levels there also. If you exceed there, and if you reach next level, you can do well in your sports also. So this era we have to go hand in hand with education, but you should not decide that if I'm going to become a sportsman, I should not do science. That's wrong. We need to check our our personality. Now, when we check a student's personality, we check in many dimensions. We check his personality, we check his strengths, we check his career motivation, we check his career interest, we check his learning style, we see his skills. So when you see all these dimensions, and when you make a Venn diagram out of them, that core, small core thing, that is your top choice. A little away is good choice, more away is optional, and more away is avoid. So this is how I guide them.